Hello and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be making chicken pot pie. So I melted 2 tablespoons of butter and I mixed in 1/4 teaspoon of caldo de palo chicken bouillon, and I brushed the chicken with it on both sides, and we're going to put it in the oven and bake it. I baked the chicken for about 40 minutes on 400. And as you can see, I scored the chicken on one side. I forgot to show you this earlier. That helps it cook faster. So now I'm going to dice it. I'm going to remove any hard pieces. I have diced the chicken into 1/2-inch pieces. Okay, you can tear it if you want, but I just prefer to dice it up in pieces that look about like that. Okay, I'm going to be making 2 chicken pot pies. And so I picked up a package of these pie pans. There's 4 in a package, and they come with these little lids right here. These don't go in the oven, by the way. The lids don't. And I've got 2 packages of 9-inch pie crusts. There's 2 crusts in each package because we're doing one on the top and one on the bottom. You're supposed to use a non-greased pie pan. They recommend glass, but you can use aluminum, it's fine. You need to leave these out for about 20 minutes and let them warm up a little bit. That makes the dough easier to work with if it's cold. And you start unfolding it, because it's rolled up, it's probably going to crack and tear, so you need to let it warm up. Okay, I've got a can of carrots, a can of corn, a can of potatoes, diced potatoes, a can of peas, and 2 cans of cream of chicken. They look different because they're different brands, but cream of chicken is cream of chicken. Okay, and what I'm going to be doing with these is I'm going to pour them all in a strainer. I'm going to let them drain. I'm going to stir them up, okay, and then I'm going to only remove about maybe 4 cups, okay, and whatever's left over, I'm going to use it in a soup. I'll just put it in the refrigerator and use it in a soup later. And then after that, I'm going to add the cream of mushroom soup to the vegetable and chicken mixture. Vegetables in the strainer, and I'm just going to stir them up together and mix them up so that they're evenly mixed. Okay, so I have the cream of chicken soup mix with the vegetables, and now I'm going to add a cup of milk and give that a stir. Now you're going to need 4 cups of cooked chicken. Like I said, if you want to use rotisserie chicken, fine, do that. Or 2 large chicken breasts ought to make 4 cups. Now we're going to stir this in. I have about a 1/2 of a medium onion here, diced up, and about 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm just going to saute it because I like onions in my chicken pot pie. Okay, so once the onions become translucent and they're sauteed, we're going to add them to the mix. Now, using a 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon, we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of parsley flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to add it to our mix. I've already added the onions. Give that a stir. Okay, it's time to unroll the crust. And if you find that it's hard to work with and it doesn't just easily roll out, stop, let it warm up some more, about 5 or 10 minutes, and then come back and try to unroll it. Don't try to force unrolling the dough, because you'll just break it and crack it, and that's no good. I'll show you, because I'm holding the phone with one hand. This really takes 2 hands. But after it's all unrolled, you're going to fold it like this, okay? And then you're going to take the center and put it in the center and then unroll it. I hope that makes sense. But I can't do it while I'm holding the phone. Gently unravel it, unroll it, okay? And then try to make sure that it's even across. You don't want to be too rough when you're pressing it in. Just be really gentle when you're pressing it into the corners, or it will tear. It's okay if it tears. You can always kind of mush it together or take a piece off, you know, cut a little piece off and mash it into the tear with a little bit of water or something like that. But you just want to try to be gentle with it because, you know, it's just dough, you know, so it's kind of fragile. Time to fill it. Okay, so I'm going to use half of this mixture because, like I said, I'm making 2 pies. I'm going to fold the dough, okay, twice, and then you're going to put the point in the center and then unroll it from there and press it very gently against the sides of the pan. Okay, so now both pies are filled. It's time to put on the top crust. Okay, also if you like celery, you could also saute a little bit of celery with your onion, maybe a 1/4 cup. Okay, but I was out of celery. That's the reason I didn't add it, but you know, that's an option. Some of you may be asking, why don't I just use a can of mixed vegetables? Well, it's because I don't like the mixed vegetables. I think it's called veg-all. I don't think lima beans belong in my chicken pot pie, but hey, that's just me. Top crust, fold it this way, fold it that way. Okay, take and put the point in the center, and then you're going to roll it out. Like right now, I'm going to have to go around and trim the edges, okay, and then push the edges together with a fork between the top and bottom crust. So now I'm going to do the other pie. What I'm doing is I'm going around the pie, okay, and I'm going to be joining or pressing the top and bottom crust together, okay, just like so. I'm going to do that all the way around. You want to be gentle with it so that you don't tear the dough, okay? But you basically get the idea of what I'm doing here. Okay, so I have pressed the top and bottom crust together very gently and folded this over. Okay, as you can see, there's some excess. And now I'm going to go around and gently press with a fork, okay, to press the top and bottom crusts together. The fork, it takes both hands, and so while I'm pressing with a fork, I have this other hand behind the pie pan while I'm pressing with the fork so that it supports the sides and the dough doesn't tear. So that's how you manage that. So after that, I go around the top part. There's this little step here, and I just press that in, and then when I get finished with that, I'll take my kitchen shears and I'll go and trim the crust off all around the pie crust. And so I'm just going to take and just cut some slits into the top of the crust very gently with this serrated knife. And I'm going to go around and do about 6 of these. About 8 slits. I did one here, one here, one here, one here, and then went in between those, which makes 8. And then a couple in the center right there. Okay, when making these cuts, you're not going all the way across like you would actually cut the pie. You're just venting it, making small little cuts like that. Okay. So I'm just going to use this baking rack, okay, and I've taken the screen and flipped it upside down so it'll be flat. And I'm just going to set the pies on there and then put this whole tray in the oven. So these pies are heavy and they're smushy, so when you move them to this tray, support the bottom with one hand, okay? So just carefully move them, okay? That's all I'm saying. Now we're going to put them in the oven at 375, and I'll take a look at them in about 20 minutes. So it took nearly an hour, okay, to get them golden brown on the bottom and, of course, around the edges. The tops, I'm going to put it under the broiler now and get the top golden brown, which won't take long. So when you're using the broiler, you got to really stay with it. Don't walk away. You're going to want to go with the center rack. Okay, so I had them on the center rack. And please excuse my dirty oven. I just don't have time to clean it sometimes. So there you have it. They're both light golden brown on the top, which is what you want. Okay, and going to let them cool for about 10-15 minutes before cutting into them. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just drop them below.